though it would torment him, or to claim it and challenge the power that sat in its dark hold beyond the valley of shadows. Already the ring tempted him, gnawing at his will and reason. Wild fantasies arose in his mind, and he saw Samwise the Strong, hero of the age, striding with a flaming sword across the darkened land, and armies flocking to his call as he marched to the overthrow of Barad-dûr. And the clouds roll away, and he sees the Vale of Gorgoroth become a garden of flowers and trees that brought forth fruit. He had only to put on the ring and claim it for his own, and all this could be. Notice how the ring's temptation forms in Sam. Sam is a common gardener, and so the ring speaks to him as a gardener. Sam, if you use this ring, not only can you defeat Sauron, but you can turn this hellhole into paradise. And we're told, what is it that saves Sam? What is it that keeps him from giving in to the temptation of the ring? It was the love of his master that helped most to hold firm. But also deep down in him lives still unconquered his plain hobbit sense. Two things stop him from giving in to the temptation: his love of Frodo and his plain hobbit sense. What's meant by his plain hobbit sense? He knew in the core of his heart that he was not large enough to bear such to bear such a burden. Something in the very core of his being tells him, Sam, come on, you're just a little midgety hobbit. There's nothing you can do that will enable you to carry this ring like this. And what is it that Sam ultimately wants? Beautiful passage. The one small garden of a free gardener was all his need and due. Not a garden swollen to a realm. His own hands to use, not the hands of others to command. Notice what Tolkien does there, and notice the importance and significance he puts on the earth. A small garden, a little plot of land that can be tended by one person. That one person can get his hands dirty in the earth and master it and tend to it and nurture it so that it brings forth life and goodness. Just as Gandalf was talking about as being steward of all of Middle-earth, all Sam wants is to be the steward of one little small garden. And Sam says, and anyway, all these notions are a trick. He'd spot me at once. And so he doesn't give in to the temptation of the ring. He goes on. He finds that the orcs have mostly killed themselves. He does away with the last one. And he goes into the room. And he climbs up the ladder. And he finds Frodo. And they talk for a bit, and Frodo says, but it's over, Sam. They've gotten everything. Do you understand? Everything. And Sam says, not everything, page 911, Mr. Frodo. And it hasn't failed, not yet. I took it, Mr. Frodo, begging your pardon. And I've kept it safe. It's round my neck now, and a terrible burden it is, too. But I suppose you must take it back. Now that it come to it, Sam felt reluctant to give up the ring. And Frodo says, you've got it? You've got it here? Sam, you're a marvel. Give it to me, give it to me. You can't have it. Frodo says, all right, Mr. Frodo, but I can carry it if you need it. No, says Frodo. No, you won't, you thief. And Frodo realizes, oh, Sam, what have I done? What have I said? Forgive me after all you have done. It's the horrible power of the ring. I wish it had never been found. But I must carry the burden to the end. Sam gives the ring to him. And now we're just going to skip a bunch. They go into the land of shadow. They go dressed as orcs. Notice they kind of, I don't want to say they get captured, but because they're dressed as orcs, they have to fall into a line of orcs that are marching, and then they later on ditch them. And they keep making their way, and they make their way to Mount Doom. Sam realizes Gollum is still following them. On page 937, Frodo tells Sam he can't manage it. It's a weight to bear. And Sam says, "Then let me carry it a bit for you, master. You know I would, and gladly." Frodo says, No, I can't. And so Sam decides to lighten the load. They get rid of everything they don't need. Let's see here. They turn their way to the mountain. And Sam says to himself, page 939, that I'll carry Mr. Frodo up myself if it breaks my back and heart. And so Sam takes Frodo onto his back, bottom of 940, and says, "I said I'd carry him if it broke my back, and I will." He says, "Come on, Mr. Frodo. I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you in it as well. So up you get. Come on, Mr. Frodo, dear. Sam will give you a ride." So they start making their way up. And Sam looks back and he sees how far they've come. And they make their way, and finally Sam finds a path. And Frodo says, "I'll crawl, Sam." And Frodo starts to crawl, and Sam with him. On page 943, we hear Frodo say, "Help me, Sam, help me, help me. Hold my hand," because his hand is moving up to take the ring. And Sam helps him, and suddenly Sam feels a weight hitting him in the back, and he crashes forward. And he hears a voice, wicked master, he cheats me. Oh, he mustn't go that way, he mustn't hurt precious. Give it to Smeagol, yes, give it to us. And Sam heaves himself up, and he hears, bottom of 943, down. Frodo gasped, clutching his hand to his breast so that beneath the cover of his leather shirt he clasped the ring. "Down, you creeping thing, and out of my path. Your time is at an end. You cannot betray me or slay me now." Okay, now notice that. Frodo, who's not destroyed the ring yet, tells Gollum, "You cannot destroy me or slay me now. You cannot betray me or slay me now." And we get this beautiful description on the top of page 944 that Sam, as before, when they were at the Immen Mule, Sam looks and he sees Frodo and Gollum as with other vision. A crouching shape, scarcely more than the shadow of a living thing. A creature now wholly ruined and defeated, yet filled with a hideous lust and rage. And before it stood, stern, untouchable now by pity, a figure robed in white. But at its breast it held a wheel of fire. Out of the fire there spoke a commanding voice. Why does Sam see Frodo robed in white? It's an interesting image. And why does Sam see a wheel of fire at Frodo's breast? I think there's two reasons for these. The robe of white, I think, comes from the book of Revelation, where those who overcome are clothed in a robe of white. The question is, has Frodo overcome? Good question. The wheel of fire. In Shakespeare's King Lear, Lear talks about the suffering he has endured as a wheel of fire. Well, what else is the wheel of fire? I mean, literally, what is Frodo clutching? He's clutching the ring that he has on the chain around his neck. And notice, we're told, out of the fire there spoke a commanding voice. The voice comes from the fire. It doesn't come from Frodo's mouth. And the voice says, Be gone and trouble me no more. If you touch me ever again, you shall be cast yourself into the fire of doom. $64,000 question is, who is speaking? Is it Frodo, and he's projecting his voice somehow through the ring? Or is it the ring speaking? Or is it something else? Is it some power beyond the making of the ring speaking through the ring? Gollum backs away. Sam tells Frodo, look out, Master, he'll sprint, you go on, I'll deal with him. So Frodo goes on, and Sam says, finally, at last I can deal with you. Listen to Gollum. Don't kill us, he wept. Don't hurt us with nasty, cruel steel. Let us live, yes, live just a little longer. Lost, lost, we're lost. And when Precious goes, we'll die, yes, die into the dust. He clawed up the ashes of the path with his long, fleshless fingers. Dust, he hisses. What does Gollum mean? Gollum says, don't kill us. Let us live, yes, live just a little longer. Gollum knows he's going to die. Does he know he's going to die because he knows Frodo's going to destroy the ring? I don't think so. I think Gollum knows what Frodo's going to do. Why? Because Gollum himself held the ring for about 600 years. Gollum knows the ring has control over Frodo. And so when Gollum says, let us live for just a little bit longer, I think Gollum knows what he must do. He must take the ring. And yet he's also heard the voice come out of the ring. If you touch me ever again, you shall be cast yourself into the fire of doom. And yet Gollum cannot not touch the ring. He is so eaten by the desire for the ring, he knows if he touches it again, he will die. And yet, still, he goes for it. He goes after it. He bites the ring off Frodo's hand. And in doing so, he knows he destroys himself, and I think the ring too. That is, this is my own belief, could be entirely wrong. I think when Gollum bites the ring off, he knows it's going to result in his and the ring's destruction. So Sam doesn't kill him. We're told. Sam's thinking, bottom of 944. It would be just to slay this treacherous, murderous creature, just and many times deserved. And it seemed the only safe thing to do. But deep in his heart, there was something that restrained him. He could not strike this thing lying in the dust, forlorn, ruinless, utterly wretched. He himself, though only for a little while, had borne the ring. And now dimly, he guessed the agony of Gollum's shriveled mind and body, enslaved to that ring, unable to find peace or relief ever in life again. Sam has pity for Gollum. He understands, in a very small way, the hell Gollum has been living through for hundreds of years. And so Sam tells him to go away. Sam goes up to the cracks of doom. He looks for Frodo, and he hears, bottom of page 945, I have come, but I do not choose now to do what I came to do. I will not do this deed. The ring is mine. And Frodo sets the ring on his finger and disappears. Sam is struck in the back. He falls, and as Frodo puts on the ring and claims it for himself, we're told the power of Barad-dûr was shaken. Sauron suddenly realizes his folly. He turns all of his attention 180 degrees. The Nazgul, those that are remaining, immediately turn and start to fly towards Orodruin. Sam gets up. He sees Gollum dancing around, struggling with something. And all of a sudden, Frodo appears